Hello, and welcome to Canada Immigration Matters, presented by Chugo Immigration Services. We have a major update to share with you today regarding Canada's immigration policies, and it's something you definitely want to pay attention to if you're considering immigrating to Canada in the near future. Canada has just announced a significant reduction in immigration targets over the next few years. Specifically, the government plans to reduce the number of new permanent residents by 20% starting in 2025. This marks a major shift from the ambitious targets that were set during the pandemic recovery period. Let's break down the key points of this announcement, what it means for you as a prospective applicant, and how Chugo Immigration Services can help you navigate this changing landscape. Permanent resident targets, a 20% reduction. The Immigration Levels Plan unveiled today includes a 20% reduction in the number of permanent resident admissions. Here's the breakdown. In 2025, Canada is aiming to admit 395,000 new permanent residents. This is down from the 485,000 targets for 2024. The numbers will continue to drop, with 380,000 targeted for 2026 and 365,000 for 2027. While this represents a significant scaling back, it's important to note that economic immigration remains a priority for the government. The reduction in economic immigration targets is more modest, about 15%. So if you're applying through economic programs such as Express Entry, provincial nominee programs, or similar streams, your chances may not be impacted as severely as in other categories. Economic immigration, still a key focus. Even though overall immigration levels are being reduced, economic immigration will still make up a large part of the admissions. In fact, over 40% of the immigrants admitted as permanent residents in 2025 are expected to come from within Canada. What does this mean? It means Canada will be focusing heavily on transitioning international students, temporary workers, and others already living in Canada to permanent residency. This is great news if you are already in Canada on a work permit or study permit, as the government is clearly prioritizing individuals who are already contributing to the economy and society. We can expect to see continued focus on pathways to permanent residency for those already established in Canada, particularly through programs like Express Entry and provincial nominee programs. Temporary resident numbers are also being reduced. In addition to cutting the number of new permanent residents, the government has also set targets for temporary residents, which is something we haven't seen in previous immigration levels plans. By 2026, the government aims to reduce the proportion of temporary residents in the overall population from 7% to 5%. This will have a particularly significant impact on international students and temporary foreign workers. For example, there is now a permanent cap of 360,000 study permits per year. This cap was initially introduced as a temporary measure, but it has now been made permanent and will include undergraduate, college, master's, and PhD programs. Additionally, there will be fewer post-graduation work permits, PGWPs, issued, as well as spousal open work permits, which could limit pathways to permanent residency for some individuals. Reforms to the temporary foreign worker program are also in the works, and these reforms are aimed at cracking down on the exploitation of foreign workers. This means that employers will face stricter rules, particularly in regions where unemployment is high. Prime Minister Trudeau's message: a pause for economic balance. It's worth noting that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau personally led today's announcement, which is unusual, as these announcements are typically made by the immigration minister. In his speech, Trudeau emphasized that while Canada remains committed to immigration, there is a need to slow down the growth to ensure the economy can keep pace. He mentioned that this reduction is temporary and is designed to pause population growth for the next few years, allowing Canada's economy and social systems to catch up. According to Trudeau, this plan will ensure that newcomers to Canada can thrive with access to well-paying jobs, affordable housing, and social services. Immigration Minister Mark Miller echoed these sentiments, calling the new plan a middle-of-the-road approach that balances economic growth with sustainable development. What does this mean for you as a prospective immigrant? If you're planning to apply for Canadian immigration, this announcement might feel like a setback, but it's important to keep things in perspective. Yes, there are fewer spots available, but the reduction doesn't necessarily mean that your chances are gone. In fact, if you're already in Canada as a student or temporary worker, you may find that your path to permanent residency is more accessible than ever before. The government is clearly prioritizing people who are already contributing to the Canadian economy. More than 40% of the permanent resident admissions in 2025 will be people who are already living and working in Canada. This focus on transitioning temporary residents into permanent ones could create opportunities for those who are already established here. For prospective immigrants outside of Canada, the competition will likely be tougher. With fewer spots available, it's more important than ever to ensure your application stands out. Meeting the eligibility criteria, improving your comprehensive ranking system, CRS score, and applying through the right immigration stream will be key to improving your chances. How can Chugo Immigration Services help you? At Chugo Immigration Services, we understand that these changes might make the immigration process seem more challenging, but we are here to help. As a registered immigration consultant, we can provide you with a personalized assessment of your eligibility under the new immigration plan. Whether you're a temporary resident already in Canada or someone looking to make the move from abroad, it's crucial to understand how these changes affect your application. Our team can guide you through the complexities of Canadian immigration, ensuring that you are well prepared and that your application is as strong as possible. Don't wait. Reach out to us today to discover if you are eligible for Canadian immigration. Our professional assessment will help you understand where you stand under the new rules and how to maximize your chances of success. Let us assist you in making your dream of living in Canada a reality. Thank you for watching Canada Immigration Matters, presented by Chugo Immigration Services. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on Canada's immigration policies. And don't hesitate to contact us for expert guidance on your immigration journey.